On the outskirts of a quiet village nestled in the mountains lived an old man named Daichi. He was a retired teacher, known for his wisdom and calm demeanor. Young people from the village would often come to seek his advice, but Daichi rarely spoke much. He was a man of few words, and he listened more than he talked. One summer evening, a curious young man named Akio approached Daichi's home. Akio had heard tales of the old man's wisdom and wanted to learn the secret to a peaceful and successful life. He knocked on Daichi's door, and the old man welcomed him inside. "Master Daichi," Akio said, bowing respectfully, "I've come to seek your guidance. I want to know how to live a wise life, but more than that, I want to learn when to speak and when to remain silent." The old man's eyes twinkled, and he nodded slowly. "Sit with me, young one," he said, gesturing to a small wooden bench on his porch. The sky was painted with the colors of dusk, and the mountain breeze was cool. Akio sat eagerly, waiting for the old man to speak. Daichi took a deep breath and began, "In my life, I've learned that silence is often more powerful than speech. There are 5 moments when it is wiser to remain silent, and I will share them with you." Akio's eyes widened with anticipation. He leaned forward, listening intently. "The first moment," Daichi said, "is when you're angry. Words spoken in anger are like arrows shot in haste. They cannot be retrieved, and they often cause pain." Akio thought of the times he had argued with his friends in frustration, regretting his harsh words later. "The second," Daichi continued, "is when you don't have all the facts. If you speak without knowing the truth, your words may mislead others, and you might regret them." Akio remembered moments when he had jumped to conclusions, only to realize he was wrong. "The third time," Daichi said, "is when your words might hurt someone unnecessarily. Silence in those moments is an act of kindness." Akio's face grew serious as he recalled teasing a friend without understanding the impact it had on them. "The fourth moment," Daichi went on, "is when no one is asking for your opinion. Advice given uninvited is rarely appreciated, and it can create distance between you and others." Akio's heart sank, thinking of times he had offered advice to his family, only to be met with silence. "And finally," Daichi concluded, his voice growing softer, "you should remain silent when the other person is not ready to listen. Sometimes, people need time to understand their own thoughts before they can hear yours." Akio was silent, his mind racing with the wisdom Daichi had shared. "But Master," he finally said, "how do I know when to speak if I must be silent so often? What if my silence is misunderstood?" Daichi smiled, his eyes deep with understanding. "Silence is not about withholding your words out of fear," he explained. "It is about knowing that words have weight, and they should be used with care. Let me show you something." The old man reached into a small bag and pulled out a stone, smooth and round. "Imagine your words are like this stone," he said, tossing it gently into a nearby pond. The water rippled outward in perfect circles. "When you speak, your words create ripples. Sometimes those ripples bring peace, and other times they disturb the stillness." Akio watched the ripples fade. "So, silence is like the stillness of the pond?" he asked. "Exactly," Daichi said. "Silence allows you to observe, to reflect, and to choose your words wisely. It doesn't mean you never speak. It means you speak with intention, knowing the impact your words will have." Akio sat quietly, the weight of Daichi's lesson settling in. He realized that true wisdom wasn't just about speaking the truth, but understanding when that truth needed to be spoken. As the stars began to dot the sky, Akio stood up and bowed deeply to the old man. "Thank you, Master Daichi," he said, his voice filled with gratitude. "I understand now." Daichi's eyes were warm as he smiled. "Go, young one," he said softly, "and remember, sometimes the loudest wisdom is spoken in the silence between words." Akio left the porch, the night air cool and refreshing, feeling lighter and wiser than he ever had before. He understood now that silence wasn't about holding back, but about choosing the right moment to share what mattered most.